Hello, hello. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Rae and I'm here with Kerrie. We're here at Willow Gardens Yoga Studio in Buda, Texas. And today we are going to try something really fun and something new. We are going to teach the classic 34 Pilates postures, the ones that Joe Pilates himself taught, and he didn't really deviate much from this particular exercise regime in his own practice. So we thought it might be fun to go through these postures with you and explore some of the more classical methods of the Pilates approach. So we're going to try it. I do have a cheat sheet, just to let you know, because I don't have the order memorized. And so, you know, this might not be perfect, but have fun with it. And we'll also offer modifications for some of the postures that we know already that are advanced. And so don't worry if you don't have an advanced Pilates practice, no problem. There's lots of modifications and we'll walk you through those modifications through the class. All right, so we're gonna get started in hook line position, coming in for a very short grounding exercise. So in Pilates, we take hook line position to basically start to engage through the core. So we want to take breath in the nose, out the mouth. So you're going to breathe in the nose, and now you're going to breathe out the mouth as you pull your ribs together, hug your sternum toward your spine, belly button toward the spine. Inhale, big inhale in the nose. Now exhale, open your mouth like you're fogging the window, pull your ribs together. Now keep this breath going. Keep the core engagement as you come into a neutral spine. So for the neutral spine, you want to have a little tiny bit of space underneath your low back, just a little space for little ladybugs to start to crawl underneath your low back. Take a couple more breaths. Now start to traction your heels towards your glutes back towards your heels without actually moving the feet or the glutes. You're tractioning to get into the hamstring glute connection. Big breath in, big breath out. Shoulders away from the ears. Head is pulling long like you're pulling it into a party hat. Nice work. Now from here, you're going to lift up head, neck, and shoulders. You're going to start to hover the hands off the floor a little bit here. And you're going to start pressing the hands. You're going to breathe in the nose for 5 and then out the mouth for 5. So here we go with our hundreds. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she's doing this to warm up the core. So that's what we're doing. Your core should start to really be firing now. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you can start to lift up into a tabletop, having a nice 90-degree angle in your knees, shins and legs parallel to the floor here, the shins and the calf part of your legs, and then just keep pressing it out. Inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. And we call these hundreds because we typically do them in sets of 10. She's making it a little bit harder for herself. She's really firing up her core. She's pulling the ribs together. She has 3 more sets here. Very nice. Hear the breath. Focus on your breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last one. Don't give up. Hang on to it. 3, 4, 5, and lower down. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug here. Roll around on your low back. Now that's really the warm-up for the traditional classical Pilates practice. You really want to feel the ribs coming together on that exhale. Use your posterior lateral breathing here through the whole practice. So important. From here, she's going to bring her legs straight out in front of her. Her arms are going to come up over the head for some roll-ups. So you're going to try to keep your heels on the floor the entire time. Take a big stretch long, inhale, start to roll up head, neck, and shoulders, and then exhale, you're gonna lift up. Use your HA breath. Ha! Heels down on the floor. Really nice job, Kerrie. Coming back up, nice straight spine here. Heels down, exhale down, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Heels on the ground, arms up. We have 5 of these. Let's do it. Inhale, exhale. Ha! Lift up. Stretching long like you're reaching over a coffee table. Nice work. Rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. We're using that breath. Hearing Kerrie's breathing, using the exhale. Ha, breath to lift yourself up. Heels down. Reaching and stretching. We have 2 more. Rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your arms up over the head. Big stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Ha, really nice work. Stretching long, opening up the hamstrings. The last one here, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Notice her heels are staying down. If your heels are lifting, that's okay. She's going to inhale. She's going to bring it back up 1 more time. Really nice work. All right, now from here, she's gonna lower herself back down. So she's gonna lower down one vertebrae at a time, nice and controlled. And we're gonna move into some leg circles. So she's gonna lift her right leg straight up over her head. Now, if you need a modification here, you're gonna bend the left knee, and that modification is totally fine. You can bend it a little bit if you need to. And then she's gonna take her leg, I'm just gonna show you real quick in case you haven't done these before. She's gonna take the leg toward the inside of the body, and then take little circles and stop. And then you're gonna connect this with your breath. So inhale, exhale, stop. Inhale, exhale, stop. Good. Notice her pelvis is not moving, so you want to make sure that you're taking little circles, dinner plate size circles here. That's all you need. She's got 2 more here, and then we're going to switch directions. Switch directions. Very good. Inhale, ha. So your ha breath are your brakes, right? The ha breath is the brakes. So you got to make sure that you're really using that ha breath to do the circling, and you don't need big giant circles here. Last one, and down. Nice work. All right, now lift your left leg up, bend your right knee if you need to. We're gonna start pulling the leg inward toward the body, little circles. Inhale, 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 inhale. Good, keep going, 2 more. Last one. And switch direction. So notice her circles are quite small. It really depends on your hip mobility here in terms of how big your circles are going to be. If you want to play with some bigger circles and see if you can do that without moving the pelvis, then go for it. But what we don't want is Elvis pelvis, right? We call it loosey-goosey, not allowed. So she's showing you what that looks like if her circles are too big. Notice her pelvis is starting to rock too much, and so you really want to move through controlled movements here. Very nice. All right, from there, slowly bring in both knees, give yourself a nice hug, roll around on the low back. In Pilates, we take a lot of little short breaks in between the postures to try to keep our rest and digest system under control, and so that's the reason for those short breaks. Now from here, Kerrie's gonna take the hands gently behind the back of her legs. She's gonna get a little bit of momentum, and she's gonna roll herself up, okay? So you can try that. See if you can pull yourself up. She's pretty tired. We actually have just been making videos, so we're both pretty tired here. So if we giggle a little bit or if we fall out of postures, you're gonna know why. Now we're gonna move into roll like a ball. And one of us is gonna show you the more advanced posture, and then the other one will show you the classical version. So here you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna have them outside of your legs. You're gonna have the hands right on the ankles here. If you wanna make this harder, you can pull the knees into the chest. So this is gonna be harder, and then Kerrie's gonna show you what to do. She's gonna roll back just to the shoulder blades, and then roll back up and use her abdominals as brakes. So you're gonna roll back, and then up, and try to keep the toes off the floor. So we're just showing you 2 different versions here. Try not to touch the toes to the floor. Roll back, just to the shoulder blades. Now if you want to make this even harder, I'll show you the next level. If you want to move on, you can go like this. You can roll back, try to keep the connection. All right, one more time. Very nice, rolling like a ball. All right, from here we're gonna actually come onto the belly, and we're gonna come into some low back work. So from here, we're gonna come up onto the forearms if it's comfortable. If it's not super comfortable for your low back to be up this high, you can come down. This is a modification for this particular exercise. But if you can be up on the forearms, then you can clasp your hands together and pull your shoulders down away from the ears. So now we want to really engage through the quads to lift the kneecaps off the floor. Now you're lengthening through the legs, you're pulling your ribs together, so no splaying open of the ribs. So I'm splaying my ribs here, and then Kerrie is gonna pull her ribs together so that you can see the difference. Because when I splay my ribs open, notice my shoulders kind of I start to like dip into the shoulders, and we don't want that to happen. So we're gonna pull the ribs together, shoulders away from the ears. Now from here, we're gonna lift the feet up just a little bit. Just extend it long, try to get the feet to lift off the floor, just to get that nice engagement, and then release. Very nice. So with that engagement, we're gonna start to kick toward the booty 2 times. and then we're gonna lengthen back out, okay? So she's gonna kick twice and lengthen back out. She's gonna do this 5 more times. She's really trying to keep this hamstring glute connection here. Keep that firing of the hamstrings and the glutes. So she's inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Really nice. Now from here, you can keep doing this again, or you can move to the next exercise, which is going to be a little bit more into the low back. So from here, you're going to see if you can lower all the way down and bring right cheek down to the mat. So right cheek on the mat. Now she's going to kick 3 times, but she's going to have her hands behind the back. As she inhales to extend, she's going to straighten her arms and open up the chest, all right? So she's going to kick, 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 extend. Kick, 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 extend. So see if you can do this. Extend. And on your extension here, you want to inhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Very nice. 2 more on each side. Take your time and try to move with control. Last one. Very nice. All right, from here she's going to roll over onto the back. We're going to come in for some spine stretch. You're just going to get yourself up as best you can for our spine stretch. Now I've been teaching this posture a lot in my Pilates classes recently because I've just been realizing and discovering the benefits of it, but it's really kind of tough to teach. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so we're going to take the hands, we're going to bring them behind the head. So what she's going to try to do here is she's going to try to peel 1 vertebrae at a time off an imaginary wall behind you. So if you've been taking my classes last week, we actually went to the wall to do this. So here we go. She's going to come off the wall, 1 vertebrae at a time, and she's not collapsing here. She's keeping the same distance between the hips and the ribs. So this distance here stays the same. Now she's going to peel back 1 vertebrae at a time, back onto the wall. Very nice. All right, we're going to do 5 more of those. Inhale. Coming off the wall, 1 vertebrae at a time, and you're welcome to go to your wall if you need to do this. And then she's going to exhale back, 1 vertebrae at a time, up against the wall. So little movements here, nothing too hardcore. The most important thing here is to not collapse over the legs. You want to make sure that you're extending long and then you're peeling back against the wall. So you're maintaining that distance between your hips, right, the high hip points, and your ribs. She has 2 more of these. It's very, very important to keep this movement really slow to make sure that you have all the control in the body that you can possibly have while you're doing this spine stretch. Very nice. Good work. All right, now from here we're going to move into what's called open leg rocker. So for me, for open leg rocker, because I have tight hamstrings, it's almost impossible for me to just move straight into it. So I always preface open leg rocker with a stretch. So we're going to just come into this nice stretch where we just open up the legs here and see if you can straighten out the leg. And you might be feeling this tremendous stretching through the hamstrings and the glutes. That's normal. And then you can try the other side. Stretch it out. If your knee's bent, that's okay too. And then both legs, just stretch it out. Really nice. All right, now Kerrie's going to demo the open leg rocker. She's going to roll back to the shoulder blades, and then she's going to catch herself using her HA breath. This is a really challenging posture, so you also don't have to roll back. You can just stay right here, and you can work on the stretch, and you can work on the balance without actually bringing the legs back over your head. So let's do 2 more of these for the open leg rocker. Slowly come down, bring the feet in. So the next posture we're going to work on is called corkscrew. So with corkscrew, we're gonna lay down onto the back. This one's also really fun. All right, so we're gonna lift the legs up over. Now, when we teach this class, typically we keep the hips down. In the classical method, you actually are gonna lift the hips. So we'll show you both ways and you can decide what you wanna do. But the most important thing here is to make sure your core stays really engaged as you take these really big circles around. All the way around. And back up. And then you're going to switch directions. You're going to go the other way. And then notice how both of our hips are staying down. Inhale around. Exhale up. And notice how our feet are sliding. One foot stays ahead of the other as you circle around. Now we have 3 more on each side. And I'm going to move into the classical posture here after this one so that you can try that if you want to. I'm going to start to lift my hips up, rotating around, making it a little bit harder as I keep my core really engaged. And then if Kerrie wants to move into that classical method for her final one, she can do that as well. So hard, right? Yeah. She said yes, by the way. All right, bend your knees, bring your knees into your chest. You're gonna grab behind your thighs again, roll yourself up, coming in for saw, one of my most favorite Pilates exercises. So good for the strength of the spine, the back, also big hamstring opener. So for saw, we're gonna bring our arms out, and I'll let Kerrie demo so that I'm not in her way here. So notice how she's got her arms out wide, but she doesn't want them to be splaying open. You wanna be able to see your fingers in your peripheral vision. Now from here, she's gonna take an inhale, and then she's gonna start to open her body to the right, rotating, coming down. She's gonna take her pinky finger and saw off the pinky toes. 3 breaths, coming back up, back to the center, over to the other side. So now she's gonna go to the left, saw, 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 and up to the center, to the right, saw, 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 and up, center, left. Notice the breath. We have 3 more of these on each side, so really use your breath here. Ha, 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 as you saw off your pinky toe. Not for real, just for pretend. That's why it's called saw. You're sawing off that toe with the pinky finger. 1 more. Very nice. Now, I like to end this one with a really, really good stretch. So we're gonna pretend like we're going into saw on the right. See if you can grab the outer edge of your right foot. Stretch open with your right arm. Just hold on to this for a moment. Feel that out. It feels so nice. And then slowly you're gonna start to release, coming back up to the other side. I just love this stretch. It's so hard though, right? Bring the left shoulder back. So notice how my left shoulder is kind of coming forward. So I want to really lengthen through the spine here and see if I can stack my shoulders. A huge shoulder opener. If it's too much for your shoulder, you can bring your hand to your waist. No problem. Slowly come back up. We're going to bring the feet together, swing the legs around, coming back onto the belly for swan. Another one of my favorites, even though it's really hard. All right, so what she's doing here, opening the legs up to about match width distance, so a little bit wider than shoulder distance, so go ahead and get set up. Before you do anything, make sure that you're really engaging your core, so your ribs are not splaying open here. So if you are used to a yoga practice and you're used to really opening your ribs a lot for those back bends, you wanna make sure that you're pulling the ribs together, connecting that T-point, right, toward the spine. So once you do that, start to squeeze your booty a whole lot and start to lift through the pelvic floor. Now just use the hand strength and press yourself up into a cobra. It's like an extended cobra pose. Just hold it right there and then slowly lower down. We're just getting ready for swan. We're stretching it out. One more time. Lift up, just for a cobra here. And now notice Kerrie's lifting the legs off the floor, so you can go ahead and start trying that now. Let's do that one more time. Try to get your legs up. All right, now she's gonna move into swan. So she's gonna start rocking here. She's gonna get some momentum, and then she's gonna release the arms, bring the arms out in front, and she's gonna rock using nothing but the power in the low back. Coming back, she's gonna do this 2 more times, so 3 times total. it out. That's it. One more time. Go ahead and try it. See how it's feeling for your body today. And then she's laughing because it's really hard. All right, now slowly push yourself up into a tabletop. And then let's move ourselves into a child's pose. These child's poses are really important to counter those spinal extensions. So just stretch it out, feel it out. It should feel really good here. Big breath in, big breath out. Really nice. All right, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Engage your core, always all the way up. Roll onto the hips. We're gonna come back onto the back for some of the 5 series. So the first of the 5 series is going to be bending the right knee up toward your chest, extending the left leg long. The left leg can hover a little bit, no problem. And she's just gonna hold onto the leg, not for dear life here, right? Just barely. You're just barely touching the right leg. She's gonna lift up head, neck, and shoulder, and then she's gonna switch. And switch, and switch. Now, use your breath here. You can also lower back down your shoulders if you need to, no problem there. If you start to feel like it's too much for the abdominals, just lower back down and keep trying to move the legs. Moving the legs is really important here. She's got 3 more on each side. If you need to take a break at any point in the practice, feel free. 1 more on each side. Nice. Now pull your knees in, give yourself a nice hug, roll around on the low back if it feels good, and then we're going to move into the second set. From here, the right leg is going to lift straight up to the sky. The left leg extends long. It can hover, no problem. She's going to take her hands and she's going to place them behind her thigh or the calf. So you pick whichever one you're most comfortable with. If you're super flexy, you may be able to get your hands higher. She's going to roll up, head, neck, and shoulders, and then start to switch the legs. She's going to take 2 little pulses. So notice the breath here. The breath is the powerhouse, so keep your breath, making sure that the breath is your fuel, your energy for your practice. 2 more on each side. Last one. Pull the knees in, give yourself a nice hug. Whew, all right, she's breathing. You probably are too. These are not meant to be easy. They're really great for the core, so keep these up with your practice every single day. All right, the next one is bicycle. So for bicycle, it's a little bit, not bicycle. I said the wrong name. What's it called? It's not bicycle.
It's like bicycle.
It's like bicycle, but it's called something else in Pilates, and I don't remember what it's called. But it's, yeah, anyway, I'm drawing a blank. Even though I have a cheat sheet. I told you I might mess up, okay? It's the first time we've done this, so it's pretty fun so far, though. All right, so what she's going to do here, she's going to extend the right leg long, and then she's going to only bring the armpit to the left knee, okay? So no elbow to the knee, armpit to the knee, and then she's going to switch. So she's really working into the obliques here. She's going to switch and switch. So lifting up to get the armpit up and over, trying not to actually get the elbow to the knee. So hard. Like, this looks way easier than it actually is. And if you're used to doing those normal bicycle type exercises where you're pulling the elbow in and crunching it in, you'll notice how much harder this is. I'm glad she's doing it and not me. For sure. 2 more on each side. Keep going. You can do it. I know you can do it. Keep it up. You got this. And lower down. Pull your knees in. Now she's really sighing that one out. All right. Now from here, extend your legs long. We're coming into neck pull. So for this one, your legs are going to be long. Extend it out all the way down. Just let your legs fall down to the floor here. Now from here, you're going to try to come up. But this time, instead of what we did earlier in class, you're going to try to keep the hands behind your head. So this one's going to be a lot harder, and if you need to release the hands, it's okay. But try to keep them behind your head until you can't any longer, and then release the arms if you need to. You're going to take an inhale, start to roll up, head, neck, and shoulders. Now exhale, try to come up. She let go a little bit as she comes up, and then from here, extend your hands long over the feet, just like you did in your roll up. And then you're going to bring the hands back behind the head. Now from here, really grounding through the heels, you're lowering down, but you're keeping your spine long. When you feel like your heels are gonna lift, you roll down one vertebrae at a time. So I'll do a couple of these with you so that you can have both of us to use as your guide. So here we go, squeeze everything. Inhale, exhale. Pull it forward. Now from here, keep your spine long. Lower down, heels down, no rounding in the spine yet, and then you come down one vertebrae at a time. 3 more, inhale, exhale. Stretch it long, reach, 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 coming back up. Hands behind the head, keep your spine straight. When your heels start to lift up, that's when you curl down one vertebrae at a time. 2 more, inhale. Heels down, that is so hard, right? Reach, 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 reach. Hands behind the head. Now keep your spine straight until your heels start to lift up, and then you curl down. Then you roll down one vertebrae at a time. We have one more. You can do it. I know it's so hard, but you got this. Keep going. Really nice. Lowering all the way down. All right, relax for a minute there. That was really challenging, okay? All right, now we're gonna come back into the hook line position that we started our practice in. So you're gonna bend the knees. Your heels are gonna be about 12 inches from the glutes, and we're gonna do some bridging. So from here, you're gonna press into your hands, really tractioning the heels toward the glutes. You're gonna take an inhale, on your exhale, you're gonna lift up. Hips are gonna lift straight up toward the sky. So you're not splaying the ribs open, you're not coming into a back bend, you're really engaging, you're hugging in the T-point here, and then lower back down to a hover, and then lift back up. And down, and up, and down, and up. 7 more here, so really use the ha breath to lift up. Ha to lift, inhale, lower, 6 more, and you can go slow here if you need to. The most important part of this is really moving with control. So you want to make sure that you're using controlology, the method of Joe Pilates. 3 more here, really squeezing the booty, lifting through the pelvic floor. This posture is so good for the pelvic floor. I think it's probably the best one of all the Pilates exercises for the pelvic floor. Last one. Coming down. And release. Pull your knees in if you want to give yourself a little hug, roll around on the low back a little bit, get that low back massage, because we're about to work into an advanced posture. This one is called jackknife, but don't worry if you're not working at an advanced level, it's okay. We're going to show you the modifications, so you don't have to go full on. So for jackknife, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to bring your legs up, straight up over your hips. Now, what Kerrie's going to do, we're going to break this down into pieces, okay? So she's going to lift up, she's going to try to get the hips up, and then she's going to bring the feet up over the head. Now, if your toes touch the floor, awesome. If they don't, that's okay too. And now you're going to use your breath, and you're going to shoot your legs straight up, coming into a shoulder stand, trying to get the hips and the ankles level if possible. And then you're going to roll down with control all the way back down, okay? So that's the classical variation, but there's actually a more advanced variation than that one. So let's show you that first, and then we'll show you the modifications. The advanced variation is she's going to lower her legs all the way down, and then from the full extension of the body, she's going to lift up, bring the legs all the way up over the head. There you go. You can try that if you're ready. And then she's going to shoot up into her jackknife. She's going to bring her legs back down, and then lower all the way back down. So this is a little bit of a more challenging variation. You do what you need to do. So let's show you a couple of modifications. If you have either of those variations, we're going for 5 of these today. So you can go ahead and work on that on your own. If you want to know the modification, she's going to lift the legs up to get the ankles over the hips. And then she's just going to press into the hands and try to lift the small of the back up off the floor without actually rolling onto the back or the neck. And this right here, honestly, is really, really hard, and you're doing great things for your core. So she's not actually rolling up and over. And if any of you have any spinal issues, osteoporosis at any level, this is where you need to be, because we're not going to roll over onto the spine with osteoporosis. So you can do a couple more of those, and then if you're working full jackknife, You can take your 5th one and then take a little break. So hard for the body, right, Kerrie?
Yes.
All right. When you're ready, slowly roll down. If you want to pull your knees in, give yourself a little hug, go for it. And then when she's ready, I'm going to have her come up, and then we're going to come into our side kick kneeling. To me, I think this is the hardest of all Pilates postures for my body. I don't know why. I think hip mobility, because that's what we're working. So you can try it out. And I'm going to give her a yoga block. We worked on this particular posture already this week in my class, and I told you that you can have a yoga block for some balance here. And so I'm not sure, I'm not sure how much you can see her legs. I think you can maybe just come over a little bit more. Yeah. Well, you can put your knee on mine. Yeah. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so what you're gonna do here is you're going to lift the left leg up and get the left leg parallel to the floor. Now once you do that, bring your hand up behind your head. That's gonna make it a little harder. So if you need to have the hand on the hip, that's fine too. You're gonna lift the leg up and then you just start pulsing. And then once you get it up, you're gonna pull it forward and then back. Forward and back. And you can flex your foot here or you can point your toe, just whatever's more comfortable for you. Just feel that out. We're gonna do 5 on each side. So hard. She makes it look really easy, but it's actually not. And then you can also, she's showing you another modification there where you lower the leg down and then lift it back up. You can also have some fun with this on your own. If you lift the leg up, she's probably thinking, what next? And then you can pulse it a little bit if you want to, just to have some fun with that booty, really getting into the glute medius there. All right, come down, take a little break. If you want to take a counter stretch there, go for it. That feels good. And then we'll move to the other side. So I think you can probably do, yeah. And did you want the block for your hand or not?
No, this side I have more. It's easier for me on this side than the other side.
Okay, so she's saying that she doesn't need the block for the left hand, and because she's a little bit stronger on the side. So you feel that out. If you need to stack some books or use, a pillow or a block or whatever. So we're going to work into this 8 on each side, whatever variation you want. You're kicking the leg forward. And one thing I want you to notice here is that her pelvis is not moving, right? She's pulling the leg forward, but there's no rocking of the pelvis. There's no Elvis happening in this room right now, and that's what we want. No Elvis allowed in Pilates, right?
You really gotta pull your teeth right in.
Yep. So this is really great for hamstring flexibility as well as hip mobility, all kinds of goodness happening for the body. So make sure that you do all 8 of those before you move on. And then we get to move into something really fun. It's called teaser. Oh yeah, we've been working on teaser in my classes too. So those of you who've been taking my Pilates classes every day, you've seen a ton of these exercises already. We're just working through them in a little bit more of a classical fashion today. So for teaser, she's gonna lay down. We're gonna walk you through some variations again because this one is especially hard. We'll do a little teaser breakdown here. So the first teaser breakdown, the first modification that we're gonna take is we're gonna bend the knees. So you go ahead and do this with us, bend the knees. And then she's going to bring the arms up over her head, take an inhale, and then just see if she can lift up head, neck, and shoulders. So a little posture breakdown here. So there, you can stay there if you want to, or you can use that HA breath to try to pull yourself up a little higher, keeping the feet on the floor, really challenging there, and then lower back down. So you can practice that. If you felt like that was really challenging, then that's probably where you need to be, and that's okay. The next thing we're going to do is she's going to keep the knees bent, but she's going to lift the right leg up, just the right leg. She's going to take the arms up overhead, take an inhale, and then exhale. She's going to try to lift up, and then all the way up. Very nice. So she did a great demo of that, so try it, and then you're going to lower back down and try the other side. So if you feel like this is harder than the first variation, you want to work on this, go for it. We're doing 8, so wherever you want to be is fine. And then we'll show you full teaser. All right, so now she's going to lift both legs up. She's going to try to roll up, catch herself in the balance, and then she's going to very slowly, with control, lower back down, and then lift back up. So we have 3 more. And also, if this gets too challenging, bend your knees. If you have a super strong core and super open hamstrings, you might be able to keep that the whole time. But for some of us, if you have tight hamstrings like me, or if your core gets tired, just bend the knees. So hard, right? One more. Teaser. Everybody loves teasers. All right, nice work, Kerrie. All right, pull the knees in, give yourself a little hug, roll around on your low back, and we're gonna move into some hip circles. So for hip circles, you're gonna lift up, you're gonna take that little roll up here, little momentum there, and then take your giraffe arms. So I'll show you from the side and she can show you from that angle, but in your giraffe arms in Pilates, you can have your fingers pointing straight back or sideways, whatever you find to be the most comfortable. I prefer my fingers to be this way. So notice how my spine is not curved. Well, it is now because I'm showing you what not to do, but straight spine. You're gonna pull the shoulders down away from the ears. So if this is too much for your shoulders or your wrists, then this is the modification that you can do for your hip circles. So no problem to be right here, okay? And just lower it down. All right, now from here, we're gonna lift the legs up. So lift your legs up into that V. Try to keep your arms straight. Try to keep those giraffe arms if you can. And then she's gonna circle the legs all the way around and up. Inhale, exhale, stop. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Very nice. So try those. We're doing 5 on each side, so we have 3 more on each side here. Yep, so she's gonna come down now for her last 2. If your wrists start to feel really tired, your shoulders start to hurt. Last one on each side. I know these are really hard, so keep it up. You can do it. Stay committed to the movement. You can do it. Nice work. All right, from here, you're gonna come all the way up to the belly for swimming. So for swimming, there's lots of modifications here as well. This is a low back exercise. So Joe clearly thought that it was important to counter the hip circles with the low back work. And so the low back, remember, is a very important part of your core. So a lot of people think that the low back is not part of your core, but it absolutely is. Your core is basically this cage from your diaphragm up to your ribs. So the low back is the one area of the body that most of us have some issues in our society, so we want to make sure we keep it really strong. Now for swimming, she's going to really start to engage through the quads, lift the kneecaps off the floor, and pull the toes really long, like a big stretch long. And then you can start to lift the right arm and the left leg off the floor, opposite leg to arm, and then switch. And notice how she's keeping one side grounded, and then she's switching and switching. Very nice. Now you can keep touching the floor and just speed it up a little bit if you want to. So she's going to start showing you that modification. So she's just going to go a little faster here, but she's going to keep going all the way down to the floor. Everything's engaged. Pubic bone pressing into the floor here, ribs together. Hold on to it for 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right. Now we're going to do that one more time, and this time she'll move into the classical variation where everything is lifted off the floor. But if that's too much for your body, then you go back to one of the variations that she showed you before. So everything's lifting, feet are extending long, belly in, booty in. Okay, everything's in, booty in, belly up. There you go. And swim. Swim, 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 swim for 4, 3, 2, don't hold your breath. 1, and lower it down, relax. Press it back to the child's pose here. Child's pose is a really great counter for our swimming. All right, y'all. We're starting to get into some shoulder work. We have about 15 minutes left of class. Hang in there. I know it's going a little faster than usual, right? Because when we do these traditional Pilates postures, we tend to do them a little more quickly. All right, so from here, we're gonna move into some shoulder work. So we're going to come into a tabletop position and then stretch the right leg back. So just get a nice stretch through the calf here. And let's pull the right knee in, left side, stretch it back through the calf, pull the left knee in. Now, right leg back, left leg back, coming into a high plank. You can make sure that your booty is lifting here by pulling the ribs together. So Kerrie's gonna show you what it looks like to sort of sink into the low back. She's dropping the hips. This is what we want, we do not want to happen, okay? Lift the hips up. You want to look a little bit more like one of those Japanese bridges in those little ornate Japanese gardens.
But not
All right,
this.
but this is too high. This is a booty sticking up too much, right? So you want to find somewhere in between. From here, we're going to lift the right leg up and tap the toes. Really squeeze and lift. Come onto the forearms if you need to, and come down to the knees if you need to. No problem. One more. If you want to make this a little harder, the last one, you can pulse it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. My booty is burning. All right, here we go. Left side, lift up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Press back, child's pose. Woo. All right, so that was really hard. If you want to do one more set, go for it. But traditionally, we only do one because we don't want to do too much on the shoulders. We want to make sure that we protect those shoulders. All right, now from here, she's going to roll up so we can come up with her. We're going to swing those legs around. And this time, we're going to come into the reverse plank. So in my opinion, this one is way harder. I don't know what you think. You think about that, but I think this one is so hard.
And it can be hard on the knees. So I always tell people if you're finding it's a lot of stress on your knees, then don't point the toes, flex the toes. That gives you a little bit more tension in the legs and hopefully not so much pressure on the knees.
And then there's also a variation that we'll show you too. So Kerrie's going to go ahead and lift up into the reverse plank. And she's going to show you what the traditional classical variation here is. So as you can see, she's in sort of this really straight line with the body. So unlike in yoga, where you drop your head back and try to lift the hips really high, we keep the head up in Pilates. But we try to keep the hips up as well as you're going to lift the right leg up. This is so hard. Pull down. So leg pull down. Here we go. Keep the hips up for 3, 4, just try it, 5. If it's too hard for your body, left side, then
You can always come in my toes cramp.
right. Her toes are cramping, so she's pressing the toes back to the face. And then you can also come into this tabletop position, and you can hold here to work the shoulders, and then you can lift the leg up from here. So this is a modification if you need to take that. This is also still doing great work for the body. It's also pretty challenging, and it's opening the shoulders. For me, it feels a little bit more cumbersome, but I'm telling you what, just keeping those hips up in the leg pull downs can be so challenging. So try that. Do a couple more reps on each side, and then we're going to move on. Move on to the last 10 minutes of funness in Pilates. All right, take a little break there, and then when you're ready, we're going to move into mermaid. So for mermaid, there's some variations. You can take this pretty deep if you want to, and we'll show you what those are. But first, just come into your mermaid stretch. So notice how our knees are parallel with the edge of the mat. And then you're going to take the right arm up and over. Just take this nice big stretch through the ribs, breathing into the side ribs. And then slowly coming back over to the other side. And then from here, if you want to take it a little deeper, then just lift the hips up. So lift the hips up, and then counter that. If you want to go a little deeper, then you can come into a side plank, reaching up and over with the arms, and then coming back down, reaching up and over. And then if you want to go even deeper, side plank, press back to that pike we did earlier. Reach the right arm underneath, coming back up, side plank, lower the hips, and relax. So we have 3 more. Whichever variation you're working, you can just stretch it out. If you need a little break in the practice right now, just taking a nice mermaid stretch feels amazing. Or if you feel like you want to be super powerful today, then you can move into this final rotation. But we're doing 3 more, so take your time. Moving with control. So she's showing you this reach through there. Nice spinal rotation happening in the body. One more time. Stretch it through. Reach, 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 reach. Hips up. There you go. Beautiful. And slowly come down. Nice work. All right. We're going to reach over to the other side. So just swing those legs over to the other side. Knees up to the edge of the mat. Now her right arm is coming up and over. So take that nice mermaid stretch, reach, 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 and then slowly come back, Stretch to the other side. And then keep up that stretch if it feels good for the next 5 sets. Or lift the hips.
So I always move my hand to the front, even with my knee, if I'm staying on my knees, so that I'm in good alignment. And if you're going to be coming up into a full side plank, you want to move the hand back, even with the hip. Extend the legs and come up.
Very good. It takes a lot of shoulder strength to work through that side plank, especially that variation where you're tucking the arm under. But when you reach through, you're really feeling that spinal rotation happening. It's so good for the body. It's just so hard. So just have fun with it, feel it out, do what you can. Remember, you can always rest. You don't have to do as many reps as we're offering, and you can do any modification of your postures. Nice work. Take a little break there. And from there, we're gonna move into my favorite of all. I have like 10 favorites. I think I've already said 3 of them, right? But this is actually my most favorite. It's boomerang. I know, Stacy, are you watching? I don't know if you're watching, but she's always like, oh, you did boomerang. It's so hard. All right, but it's a beautiful, beautiful posture. It's very challenging. Again, we'll offer the modifications. So sit up nice and tall, have your hands right by your hips, your feet are crossed. Now from here, she's gonna roll back. She's gonna bring the feet up over the head, bring the toes down to the floor if you can, if not, no worries. And then she's gonna come back up and she's gonna basically land in her teaser. All right, now she's gonna switch the legs. There she goes. Bring the hands behind the back. Open the chest, look up. Bring the arms back in the front with control. Lower the feet down and stretch over. So beautiful. And the reason I love this posture so much is because notice how many of the postures we're doing now combined into this one. So we've sort of worked our way up into this more advanced posture. So we're going for 5 of these, and I'm gonna walk you through a couple modifications. So the first modification is no rolling up and over on the neck. If you have any spinal issues or any osteoporosis issues, you're just gonna come down onto the back, and you're gonna bring the legs here, and then you're gonna try to come up. If teaser isn't in your practice, then you just bring the legs straight back down. You can bring the arms behind you with your legs right on the floor like I'm showing you, around and forward, okay? So again, we have 2 more. I'm just showing the modifications here. Lift up, all the way back up. This takes some core strength. Switch your feet here. Reach forward. You don't even have to take this extra little heart opener there. If it's not serving you, if it's too much for your body, don't worry. You can just do whatever is calling for you. So let's do 1 more here. And down, really nice work. All right, from here we're gonna move into our seal. So for seal, you're gonna come in like roll like a ball, but this time your hands are on the inside of the legs. So you're gonna grab hold of your ankles. And what you wanna do is you wanna press your elbows into your thighs. So when I press the elbows into the thighs, I'm pressing my thighs back into the elbows, and that's how you keep that natural resistance in the body. So from here, roll back onto the shoulder blades, and then back up. You're gonna roll all the way back up, and then you're gonna click your heels together. Click, click, click.
And it's a full leg.
Right, so you feel the inner thighs really working there. Roll back and up, stop, click, 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 5 times. And again, if you have any spine issues, you don't roll back, you stay here. This connection is really challenging, and then you're gonna click, 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 hold it, breathe, click, click, click. 2 more. This one is pretty fun. It shouldn't feel easy though. If it feels easy, then give yourself more resistance by pressing those elbows into the thighs and pulling the thighs back toward the elbows. So clearly she's working really hard because we know how strong she is, and she didn't make it back up on the last one. She's working really hard to use that breath. All right, and from here we're moving into crab. Crab is so fun, right, Kerrie?
Yeah.
She loves crab. Okay, so from crab, you're gonna start in crisscross applesauce. we're gonna hang on to the toes. So grab your feet, and then if you can't roll back, don't roll back. But if you can, again, roll onto the shoulder blades. Try to keep your crisscross applesauce shape, and then you're gonna switch your grip. So recross your feet, roll yourself up and over. So you might need to scoot back a little bit on the mat. Roll up onto the head, lift your hips, spinal flexion here, and then coming back. Okay, so you may need to scoot back on your mat. We found ourselves to be too far forward. So you roll back, cross your feet, bring yourself up and around, spinal flexion here, lift the hips, not too much on the neck. So fun, but really challenging. She's giggling, so you may be giggling too. So notice when she rolled back that time, she kind of did it all in one. So technically, we're not supposed to do that, right? We're supposed to have discrete movements, but it's okay because we know how hard it is, right? And she's actually breathing really hard. So it's pretty fun. So if you have any spinal issues, be very careful with this one. In fact, a lot of Pilates classes or Pilates centers or studios, they don't really even teach this posture because you're really rolling up onto the neck, and they want you to be really safe with the neck. So just be careful with that one. It's really fun to try, but make sure you have really good core strength before you actually try to roll over. And if you have any spinal issues, definitely don't roll back. You can do it right in the modification, crisscross applesauce, just lean back here and just practice switching the grip. Just keep practicing like that, because when you're rolled back, you wanna try to keep the integrity of that shape. So notice both of us actually, we're kind of straightening our legs a little bit when we cross, and really you're supposed to be hugging everything in. So crab is so hard,
Just
but
working
awesome.
on this balance, like you're saying, just trying to keep this balance and keeping the feet close.
Yeah,
is a lot of work.
so hard. All right. Next, we're coming onto the belly one more time here. And we're gonna come down, we're gonna reach back, and we're gonna grab hold of our feet from the outside. And I'm gonna show you modification here. I'm gonna just grab one foot. Kerrie's gonna grab both of her feet, and then we're gonna lift up, just lift the chest, and then you're gonna rock. Just gonna try to rock, just little rocks here. And then if you can grab one foot at a time, you just switch your legs. Okay, this is called rocking in Pilates. It is not as intense as a bow in yoga. You're just little rocks, just to get into the low back. Big stretch here through your quads and your psoas. Lift your chest, just little rocks. You're just trying to rock the body a little bit here. Nothing too fancy, nothing too super hardcore, because it's so hard. Nice work. Try that a couple times. If you're super flexy in the back and through the psoas and quads, and you have a bow in your yoga practice, you might want to go deeper into this posture and try to rock it a little bit. But in Pilates, we keep it lower to the ground and nothing too hardcore. And then from here, we are in our final two postures, everyone. Kerrie's gonna roll over onto her back, and we're gonna move into control balance. So she's gonna lay down on the back. She's gonna lift both legs up, ankles over the hips. And then again, if you have any spine issues, please do not roll up and over. As I mentioned several times, just be really careful with that. You can do this posture right from here. If you want to take it to the next level, the classical level, she's going to lift up, just like we practiced earlier. She's going to bring the feet over the head, and then she's just going to lift the right leg straight up. Just the right leg, control balance. That's it. And then lower, and left leg lifts, and then lower. Let's do 3 more on each side, and then I'm going to show you the modification in case you're not rolling over. So you're going to just not roll over, and then you're going to lower right leg and left leg. Just like that. 1 more on each side. Nice for the hamstrings, control balance. Just careful with the neck here. 1 more. Feel that out. And then with control, you can lower all the way back down. Very nice. Good work, Kerrie. So good. Yeah, awesome work, everybody. We are on our final posture. You are almost finished. So hang in there, we're almost done. You're gonna roll up, so grab the back of your legs, get your momentum, and roll yourself up here. We're gonna come into our final exercise, ending with our Pilates push-ups. So good for everything. So good to close the practice, and I love them so much, I'm going to do them with you. All right, I do love these. We're going to do 3. We're going to do 1 push-up, and then 2 push-ups, and then 3 push-ups. So really that makes 6 push-ups altogether. Take your knees on the push-ups if you need to. We got to reach up. Exhale, roll down. Candy cane shape with the body. Walk your hands out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower down, inhale, exhale, press up. Pilates pike. Walk your hands back to meet the feet, all the way back. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, belly in, core tight, lifting through the pelvic floor, reaching up. Inhale. Exhale, curl down 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way down. Walk it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 push-ups here. Take the knees if you need to. HA breath to lift up. Press it back. Slowly walk the hands back to meet the feet. Rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Everything nice and tight. Are we having fun yet, everybody? We're almost finished. Inhale. Exhale. Curl down 1 vertebrae at a time. Candy cane shape with the body. Walk it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 push-ups. Here we go. We got this. We can do it. We are strong. Last one. Press it back. Just hold this tight if you want to for a moment. Just walk it out. And slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Rolling up. 1 vertebrae at a time. All the way up. Everything nice and strong, nice and tight. And relax. Nice work, everybody. Whew. You are finished. Good job.